say in sports, there's every reason under the sun a player might be traded or might be moved to another squad. But this guy, we still don't know why he was traded 3 times in one season, even though he was a good quality fifth as a defenseman. Now, today we're going to be talking about the pride of Port Hope, Ontario, someone that had a lot of respect when he played, very jovial player, and like I said, very talented. Now, Dennis O'Brien, born Dennis Francis O'Brien in Port Hope, played the NHL for a number of seasons. Now, he was eventually drafted in the second round, 14 overall, in the 1969 draft after a solid career in the OHA, which included a 69 campaign where he had 20 points in 52 games with 235 minutes and penalties. Now, in 1970's first season, he was sent to the Iowa Stars of the CHL, and he was might have been considered an enforcer. He had a combined 361 minutes and penalties in 83 games that year, including 331 in the regular season and 30 in the playoffs. Now, in 1971, he started the season with Cleveland before Minnesota made him part of their major lineup for a number of seasons. He had played 27 games, and including 9 playoff contests. In 71, he played a huge factor in Minnesota going 6 games with Montreal in the playoffs that year. 72, not his rookie campaign, but a full campaign, 9 points in 70 games, and he became a little bit better on the defense with only 108 minutes and penalties. 73, 74, 75, 76, and 77, again, he was a stalwart of Minnesota's blue line. Best season, a lot of people's estimation, was his last in Minnesota when he had 24 points in 75 games in 1977. Now, 1978 was a weird campaign. Just bear with me for a second. Minnesota wasn't a strong team that year, so he was eventually traded to the Colorado Rockies, which is kind of a step down. After 16 games with the Rockies, we don't know if he's asked to be traded, but he was. He was eventually traded to the Cleveland Barons. And after 23 games in Cleveland, he was traded to his 4th team of the season, the great Boston Bruins. Now here's how it got bizarre. He went from 3 of the worst teams in the NHL to that year the second best team in the NHL in the Boston Bruins. In Boston, he put up some really solid numbers in 16 games with 2 goals and 3 assists and 1 point in their 14-game playoff run where he had played Montreal in the finals but lost in 6 games. Second time he lost to Montreal in the key playoff series. 79, he played the majority of the season with Boston. In 1980, he found himself out of Major Pro Hockey and played 6 games with the Bingham Dusters, but that was the end of his career. Now, the record stood for a number of years, but it was equaled by Dave McElwain in 91-92, Mark Arcorbellant's 2015, and Yuzi Yokin in the 2008 trade. Now, O'Brien was very valued. Good stand-up defenseman, no pun intended, 6 feet 195. And like I said, Minnesota saw something in him, and he was a big part of the defensive brigade when they were probably one of the most consistent, first expansion, 6 teams of the early 1970s, and he was a fan favorite in Minnesota for a number of years. But with Colorado, Cleveland, and Boston, it was kind of weird because you'd pick up the hockey news. You know how they talk about transactions, and you're probably working in the back saying, "Oh yeah, did you update Dennis O'Brien?" Yeah, I updated him for Colorado. No, he got traded to Cleveland, and then when he updated the Cleveland text, he was traded to Boston. So 13, 16, 23, and 16 games is pretty well a month and a half with each squad. So I don't know if he had very good charter flights to keep up, because obviously if Boston played Cleveland, Colorado, Minnesota in that last quarter of the season, he's probably going home to be away or going away to be home or something like that. Finally trying to show totals. And again, he put up the penalty minutes consistently in Minnesota, 592 games, 122 points, 31 goals, and for 122 points, 1 goal and 2 assists in 3 playoff games, and that playoff goal came in 1973. Now, he's not the only O'Brien in the family. He's the uncle of former NHL player Shane O'Brien, who basically had some distinction as a pro player over his short career. But you know what really stands out for Dennis is that he had always a great smile on his face. Now, Dennis's brother, nephew, sorry, but I'm getting O'Brien's mixed up, played defense, 6'3", 230, a very, very rugged defenseman. And the NHL, he played with Tampa Bay, Vancouver, Nashville, Colorado, Calgary, Florida, and also played in Europe and put up, like I said, some pretty decent totals, over 1,000 plus games combined in the AHL and NHL. So that's the story of Dennis O'Brien. We thank you for listening. Give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget, if you're traded, sometimes it's a pay raise. And I think playing with Boston, you might get a little bit extra money. Have a good day. Bye.